Hey y'all, since I'm not doing Collection Obsession this month, I thought I would join in over at the Crafty Low No Spin group hosted by Scylla, and her YouTube page is Choice Bits of Bliss. She is doing a series called Themes on the 13th where you take some of your theme paper, such as birthday, wedding, Valentine's Day, and make a layout. So I thought I would play along this month, and I took a look over at the January page map sketches, and I saw one that I really liked because I thought I would do a layout that has two photos. But the sketch that I was attracted to is this one right here. And it is a 12 by 12 sketch, but it only has one photo. But I'm going to do it with two and pretty much stick to the rest of the sketch. I really like the photos and the little blocks here. So I will have to do some improvising. So what did I pick for my theme and my photos? Well, I'm going to show you my photos, and it is of my adorable grandbabies. And if you can't tell by what they're wearing, it's for the 4th of July. When I printed my picture, I did, I guess, misjudged my setting when I was, moving my picture around, and I got a little bit of white right there, but it's okay. It was funny because I took a lot of pictures, and as you can see, I had to cut my grandson out here because you cannot get a toddler to cooperate when you take photos. They are not still, especially a boy. So he had his eyes closed or was making a face or something. So I cropped him out of this photo and got my granddaughter, and then this little cute photo of him. And you can see his hands blurry because, he's not sitting still. But I just love the little expression on his face in this picture. And so this was back from 2022, the 4th of July. And I think this is a hairband to hold her bangs back. But for some reason, she was wearing it on her forehead because, that's what she does. So I went to a quick and easy place to find some supplies, which is my scrap room kits. Excuse me. And I have two that are 4th of July themed. And one of them I have already used some of it. And this is by Doodlebug Design, Land That I Love. So I have some scraps left. Scrap cardstock. Like I said in my other video where I was getting rid of a bunch of branding strips from paper pads, when I have a kit, I keep all my scraps until I'm done with it, and then I will get rid of the scraps. So I like this paper. We got a flag on the back. There are some little rhinestones, a few embellishments, and some stars. So that's all that I have left out of this collection. But if you take this recent, well, let's see how, I don't know how recent. It's Simple Stories. America the Beautiful. And it's got the same colors. So here's the paper. we have that side, and then Land That I Love on this side. But you see the colors are the same. We have the blues. We have this green color, which I'm not a big fan of that color being in both of these collections. But I'll work around it somehow. We got some banners. In red, we have a gingham, some more stars, and the cardstock, some navy cardstock. Oh, and I have some more paper. We have this paisley and this gingham, and then we have a cut apart and a gold, and then I have this 12 by 12 sticker sheet and these Simple Stories page pieces. There's 18 pieces in there, but you know, a lot of them are little. You got these little asterisks and some stars, and we have this 4th of July. So I mean, that's probably going to be my title right there. Easy title. So either I will be back with something interesting to say, or that I think is interesting to say, or a completed layout. Okay, I'm already back with a change of plan. And this is why I like to stick to the sketch. Because I said earlier I would just use 2 photos and flip it, which is fine. But then I ran out of room. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So if I put my 2 photos up here, okay, we got to have room because I really like this sketch and I want to follow this sketch. As you see, the photo is down and it's got this big mat, and then we got a strip of paper and then a border right here. So I would have to bring my photos down further, which would push this down further, which gives me 1 row of blocks instead of 2. And then this piece of paper, I think I'm going to, this piece of background square has to stick out from the bottom, and then you still have to see your long strip background. And there's just not enough room. And this title was too big, so I was going to go to my sticker sheet and use, where's it at? This 4th, and maybe some smaller stickers to say of July. But then, instead of trying to figure it out, because I like to do what's easy, even though I love the size of photos of my sweet little babies, I'm making the photos smaller. So it will be able to be more in proportion. And I haven't wasted these, because then I can just cut these down smaller and do more what is in line with the sketch that I liked. But I think this title may still be too big, so I still may opt for either that 4th, where is it, that 4th, or Celebrate. Let me see, was there something else? There's also this Having a Blast that's in this ephemera page pieces I can use. So I do have some other options for that. So that is why I like to stick to the layout. It's a Friday evening, and my first week back to work after being off for 2 weeks. And I just don't want to struggle with it. So, change of plans. And when I come back, we'll have the finished layout. Okay, so I am back with my finished layout using the 2013 January page maps. This sketch right here. And I pretty much followed it design-wise to a T, except I changed out a couple of things. So basically, I was pretty glad that I switched to the 2 smaller photos so I could get these 2 rows of blocks below the photo, because that was part of what attracted me to this sketch. And then we have this strip behind here that I used the star paper, because if I had to use those bigger photos, it was just too big in proportion to be able to get everything on here in this vertical layout for it to fit properly, because I wouldn't have been able, you wouldn't have been able to see all the things that were on the sketch that attracted me to the sketch. So anyway, so I have this star background, and then I have a bigger map with this gold that the photos are placed on, and my 6 blocks. I did add some embellishments to the block. I added this star die cut. I added this little row of heart stickers, and this sticker I popped up on foam dots and added the gold heart. So my title, that big 4th of July, was too big, so I just used the 4th sticker, and I went into my stash and got some little letters and added of July. And then there they had like a tab with the date. So this was in the die cut, so I used that spot for my journaling and added a God Bless America. And instead of the tag that they had added, I used this die cut and added a little red rhinestone that was also in my kit. And then I use these enamel stars for my little sprinkles. And for my little border punch here, I use this little EK Success punch that Scylla gifted me with, because she had a duplicate one, and I have used this so much. I love it because it gives you just a little bit of subtle detail, and it's not, you know, big and overwhelming. And so with all the busyness on the page, that was the perfect punch to use to make my little border pieces. Now they put them with the scallop down on both the top and the bottom, but I did it scallop down and scallop up because it kind of framed my layout. Then before I go to that, when you have, I gotta glue that down right there, it keeps popping up. When I use any kind of lettering, like these thickers or enamel dots, I always add a dab of glue, because I don't trust it, and I don't want to, years down the road, have all these little embellishments down at the bottom of my page protector, have to remember where they belong, and then glue them all back on. So I just always add a little bit of dab of glue, and I was curious if any of y'all did that too, or do you just trust the stickiness and put it on your page? So once I finished my layout, I just had it on this red piece of cardstock, and I felt like it just needed a little touch of something else. So I went back through my pattern papers that was in my 2 kits, and there was this creamy colored and blue and red, and if you noticed, there's some cream, there's some white, There's some creamy color. There's some white. That doesn't bother me. And unless it was blaring to you, you would have never noticed it either. There are some people who really are anti cream and white. They probably would have noticed. But to me, it's really not that noticeable, and it doesn't bother me at all. Because we have cream and white all in our lives mixed together. So, this was a paisley print that I did not care for. But if I added it to the sides, just a little peak showing on each side, it just gave it a little bit more interest to me. So I cut a fourth off of each side of the red and added it for the background, because the B side of the paper was this big design here, and I don't think I would have used it because it is quite a large design, and it would not be one that I would like go to. So that is my completed layout. And then what I did with my leftovers, because everything matched so well, I just put them all together into one protector and all my scraps. And as I said before, I will save all my little scraps until I am done playing with this and done with it. And then I will either put these in my scraps or they will get tossed. So that is like 2 different scrap room kits combined into one. I believe it was Simple Stories and Doodlebug. Simple Stories and Doodlebug. And that's going to go back on the shelf with my other scrap room kits. And so if you are interested in playing along in Themes on the 13th, Scylla is hosting it. It was her brainchild. Go over to the Crafty Low or No Spin Facebook group to find out more information, or if you are just interested in seeing what other people are doing for Themes on the 13th, because it's open to anybody who wants to play along. And if there's not a post created for people to add links to their videos or their Instagram page, because some people just post a photo, or they can just add a photo of what they created if they don't do Instagram. We did that with Collection Obsession, where everybody can go in and add a link or a picture to what they created, and it kind of gives you this nice long running playlist. So check it out if you haven't. Play along if you want to, and we'll see you next time. Bye.